Hey guys, Ay, bienvenidos a todos. We're doing this again. We're starting this. Ay, qué miedo. Tengo mucho miedo de estar recording right now, but I'm also so excited. I really want to say I missed y'all. I appreciate so much everybody who's reached out to me and been like, hey yo, like, ¿qué pasó con tu podcast? Hey yo, like, I'm waiting for an episode, or it's been 3 years. I want to say I'm so sorry. Honestly, I don't have an excuse but my lack of confidence to do this and to start this up again. It is so scary. It is very, I don't think people realize how like vulnerable you kind of have to be in making a podcast and doing this, at least for me, because I am somebody who like really overthinks things, and I feel like the reason that I haven't been able to record is because I'm like, ay, nadie me va a escuchar, ay, no tengo nada que decir, o cosas así. But what really helped me was like a lot of y'all were like, hey yo, like, whatever happened to your podcast, like I liked it so much. And like a lot of people that I didn't even like know listened to it, so that really meant a lot. So that's why we're back here again. Ooh. Thank you for everyone that has been like so patient with me, because I know I've been saying for like 3 years, like since the last episode, I've been saying like, oh, like, don't worry, I'm gonna do it, like, oh, don't worry, like, I'll be back, like, oh, I'm gonna record. And a fun fact, if you follow the Instagram Viviendo Powerful, which is the page, if you follow on Instagram, you know that I have actually recorded and I have actually like done episodes and shit, but I've just never uploaded them. And I am so sorry, because I'm just giving you guys false hope. Y pues, perdón. So, but thank you to everybody who still like is patient and was very supportive. Los agradezco mucho. So the first thing I want to say, I was like, out of the 100 things I already said, but the first thing I want to say is Happy New Month. Is the day that I'm recording this is October 3rd, so we're 3 days in to October, which is so exciting. I don't know, like I get so excited when it's a new month. Like it's like I'm like a new person, pero la verdad no. But I believe that I'm a new person like the first few days of the month. I don't know, just something about a new month gets me so excited and makes me want to get my life together. And I've been very successful so far. Like, bro, I'm doing this right now, so you can see how successful I have been. So with that, I want to say happy new month. I really hope that this new month is so much fun for everybody. I really hope that y'all have a good month, that y'all just like get to experience new things, meet new people, because I feel like that's what I'm so excited about every new month. It's like the possibility of new things happening within the month, and especially October, ya sabemos what October means, sweater weather, cuddle season, cuffing season, como quieran decirlo. It's in the air, it's that temporada where it's gonna get colder. You're gonna start needing a jacket. You're gonna start needing somebody to cuddle with. Y para los que no tienen a alguien, pues no se preocupen. Yo estoy con ustedes. O sea, yo tampoco tengo a nadie, pero we still feel the effects of this season, and I'm so excited. I love fall, I really do, but I just don't love the absence of not having a cuddle buddy, or whatever you want to call it for some people. I don't know. So as the first episode back, I wanted to talk about what I want this podcast to be. Please think of it as like a new season or something, even though like the first season only had 3 episodes, and in those 3 episodes it was just me crying and being miserable. But this is like a new season, new era, new, como quieran decirlo, but it's new. So I think when I started this podcast, it's like apenas son 3 años, pero yo digo, o sea, estaba chiquita. And I'm like, I was 18, 17. I want to say I was 18. Pero estaba, I don't know. Like, I very much feel like I've grown up and I evolved and I know myself better. I've lived through some shit now, and I still want to share it with you guys, and I want to share what I've learned and what I live, and I want to share those experiences, which was what originally was even the premise of this podcast. The premise of this podcast was just to keep in touch and talk about the adventures of what I believed life was going to be when I moved to Chicago. And I still want that, even though I'm not in Chicago anymore. I came back home. I now go to school here in Colorado. Like, I still think that I have so much to share with y'all, and I want this to be like us kind of like growing up together, like whether we know each other or not, whether, you know, we have a connection besides being a listener and all that. I really value human connection, and I think sharing experiences, because you never know who might need to hear it, you never know who might need to learn from you. So I really want to talk about that in this new era podcast, which was the original premise anyways. And I really want to talk about the media representation and what we consume. I think for me, being a communications major, I already do this so much in many of my classes, but I genuinely enjoy like analyzing, seeing the effects it has, especially in this era of technology. I genuinely enjoy it, and I feel like it is something that we need to have an open conversation about. And so I really, really want to do that with y'all. I really want to do that with y'all because we don't realize how much media actually affects us, especially like now everything's freaking technology. Like, we don't really do anything that doesn't involve technology in some way. At least not for me. I really much we rely on technology. Like, this is just the time we live in, but we really need to be conscious about, you know, the things we're consuming, everything that we're talking about, everything that we're listening, you know, seeing. I really want to talk about movies, TV shows, music, books. I love learning and analyzing and thinking of things in a new way, in a new light, especially because it is what we feed off of. But I also want this to be the perspective of a Latina from the middle of the United States, because like Colorado no está, o sea, en el mero medio, pero like we're not in the East Coast, we're not in the West Coast, we're not, you know, in New York, and, you know, we're not at the end. Like, we're right in the middle. And I think the states around us and, you know, where we live in, like, there's nobody famous here, like, o sea, tal vez, but our voices from where we live, which is like right smack in the middle, kind of, we don't hear a lot of people from here. Like, no sé si me están entendiendo, but we definitely need perspectives from all around the country. It affects us differently. It affects us in ways that people don't even know or don't even think about. So, and I really want to be just a perspective from that, you know, going off of that. But me, podcasts are dominated for men. Like, I don't see many Latina podcasters. If you do know of any, please send them my way. I really want to listen to them, and I really want to support their podcast. So, si tienen, por favor, mándame. But us Latinas deserve to be heard, deserve to have conversations out loud on the internet. And I definitely want to be one of those people that have conversations out loud and aren't afraid to put in my perspective or in my opinion, even though most of the time, la verdad, it could be wrong. But I genuinely believe that if we just get out as many opinions as we can eventually come to a resolution, or we can eventually bring to light some things that we live through. So I really just want to be a voice, and I don't want to be a representation at all. I just want to be somebody who has a voice in the conversation and who opens up that path for everybody to have a voice in here, for everybody's opinions to get across, and just for everything to be inclusive. But I mean, honestly, this podcast could be anything that you guys want from me. I am definitely open to anything, like any ideas that y'all have, anything y'all want me to talk about. I am 100% open to it. I really think that this is just a fun adventure for you, me, everybody that's listening. I definitely think that it's just something that we're going to navigate with each other. You know, y'all tell me like, hey, like, you sounded kind of dumb here. Like, please don't talk about that shit ever again because you don't know anything. And I will shut up. I really will. So if you guys have anything you guys want me to talk about, I'm open to anything. So shoot me a message on our Instagram. If you don't follow us already on Instagram, please follow us. It is at Viviendo Powerful. And if you don't, you know, si no lo puedes encontrar, well then go to my personal Instagram, and I have it right there tagged in my bio. Ya pasando all the conformity shit. That's not the word though. I don't know what the word is. But ya pasando the basic, the everything I wanted to get out, let's get into the gritty of what I really want to talk about, which is Becky G's new album, Esquinitas. I cannot tell y'all enough how much I love Becky G, how much I've admired her for so many years. I have known her since Played Again, since Oath, since Becky from the Block, and of course Shower, which was honestly, Shower was like the hit that like put her up there. It was the thing that like made her big. I know Middle School Me was a bop in a shower. Like I was genuinely singing it in the shower, singing it outside the shower. So I have been following Becky G for a really, really long time, and to see her grow is so amazing. And to see this woman that she has become, like I genuinely feel like I've grown up with Becky G, and she's just somebody that I just admire so much and I look up to. So the album is named Esquinitas, and I love it. She talks about this album, or the title of her album, as the corner of where two flags meet, two cultures, two languages, where they're all together. And if you have seen any interview by Becky G, you know that she is such a representation of us, you know, kind of like first generation, second generation, you know, Latino Americans, where you're not completely American and you're not completely your heritage, which for me is Guatemala American, but for her it's Mexican American. So she very much talks about how she hated that, like, oh, you're 50% from Mexico and you're 50% American. She talks about it as if, like, you know, I'm not pieces of cultures. I am 100% proud to be Mexican, 100% proud to be from where she's from, which is Inglewood in California. She completely, I don't know, like, y'all just have to watch an interview, because she genuinely does mention it in every single interview, where like her trademark, or her saying, I guess, is she's a 200% or 100% orgullosa de ser mexicana and 100% orgulloso de ser from Inglewood, which is so, I don't know, like I love the way that she puts it, because I feel the same way. I 100% am proud to be Guatemalan, and I'm 100% proud to be here from Colorado. I don't know about Greeley, but I'm proud to be from where I am. I'm proud to be the result of the two places that, you know, that have raised me. And even though I'm not fully in touch with my Guatemalan culture, and I'm not fully, you know, así que en Colorado, I very much, you know, resonate. Like I am just pieces of everything, and that doesn't make me feel, that doesn't make me less of one, but it makes me proud either way. And I just love her explanation. And again, please watch an interview with her, because she definitely says it way better than I just did. She is gonna be on Tiny Desk by NPR. I think el 12, el 15 o el 16. I'm like, I heard it, but it como que me pasó, like, when, I don't think she's announced it yet. I haven't seen anything on her Instagram, but I did listen to the podcast by NPR, and she went on there, and, you know, they interviewed her. Y sí dijeron, they're like, oh, like, she's gonna be, you know, like the video interview and the, you know, actual NPR like thing is gonna be on October something, but I'm like, como que escuché el 15, pero también escuché el 16, pero como tal vez sea el 12. So just like in what, that's like 3 weeks. So I'm so excited, because I love NPR's Tiny Desk. I love how it feels like such an authentic version of the artists that they bring in. Like, if you haven't seen Karol G's NPR, I love it. I know that just recently Danny Lux was on there, and I don't listen to his music, but I heard the NPR, and I was like, hey, yo, like, I'm gonna start listening to this man, because I just love the acoustic of it all. And I love that you can better listen to the lyrics. Like, they just sound so much more powerful and have so much meaning, because it is stripped down from you know, what could be like auto-tune and like many instruments. Like it's just a way more stripped down version, and I'm so excited for Becky G to do this because I think this is her second time, but I feel like Becky G's in a new era. Like she's a whole different woman. Like I'm so excited just to hear her stripped down, and I love it. Back to the album though, this is her Mexicana Regional. No, ¿cómo se dice? Música regional album. Eso mero. I was like, I don't know why the fuck I said it like that. But this is her first album in like the music in música mexicana genre. And she kills it. Like I am telling y'all, kills this album. She has a hella collab. She has collabs with Angela y Leonardo Aguilar. She has collabs with Chiquis, Peso Pluma, and with so many more artists. It's so overwhelming, low key, because I didn't expect her to have as many collabs as she did on this album, and I low key felt like she really could have done this album with less collabs. I don't know, but I still love the collabs. I feel like they add a lot, but they also kind of felt overwhelming. Not gonna lie, o sea, nomás es mi opinión. Pero I do believe like this album was a heartfelt, powerful, and vulnerable album. Like, bro, I feel like she really put her soul into this album. Like, she opened her heart and let us in. Because, of course, this was a lot about heartbreak because of el innombrable, el infiel, el basura, you know, her ex, which is so heartbreaking what happened to her. Por los que no saben, agárrense porque aquí viene el chisme. Si no saben, she was in a long-term relationship with this soccer player who she was engaged to. And bro, I remember the exact moment where I saw this. I was like, oh my god, like I'm so happy for her. Oh my god, we're gonna have a wedding. Oh my god, like I can't wait to see her in a wedding dress. I can't wait to see, you know, la pachanga que va a tener. Y luego unos días, and I remember exactly where I found this news too, because I was literally studying, and it was during my study break, and I think it was on TikTok. I see that like it was blowing up. Like this was on my feed. It was blowing up, and this was literally a couple days after like she announced that she was engaged. So what was blowing up is that some girl came out with receipts que él era infiel. Like I think it was like videos and audio and screenshots of his like Instagram, you know, because on Instagram how like there's a lot of like ways you can like tweak it and Photoshop it and shit, but like she was like, nah, this isn't Photoshop, this isn't anything, like this is him. He literally like had videos of him. I think it was like at a club or a strip club or something like that. So era clarito que, o sea, I don't feel like there was no denying that he cheated, bro. Like there was nothing, and it was so heartbreaking. Como que yo quise llorar. Like I wanted to hit her up and be like, girl, he's trash. Like don't even worry. Like homegirl, like fuck. Like it was really so heartbreaking. And she's never made an official like así statement or comment about it, like about the whole situation. Like she never came out and said anything. And he actually did. He came out with a whole statement, and like he blamed his mental health. He's like, oh, I was in a like bad place mentally, and I was weak and I cheated, which is not an excuse to cheat. I don't even think there's like any excuse that would work that would make cheating okay. Like literally none. If y'all find one, please let me know, because I doubt you will. But tal vez sí, yo no sé, o sea, no juzgo, pero sí juzgo bien duro. But I generally think there's not a single excuse that you can give somebody that permits you, or that says, like, I guess, okay, fine, like, cheating wasn't your fault, or algo así. Like, I don't think so. I genuinely believe, like, there's no excuse for you to cheat. Nah. But this album, I mean, I feel like he cheated on all of us. I really do. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, she opened her heart and she's like, listen to me, like, belt it out in these songs with pain. And I cried to pretty much every song on this album. Like, I played it and las lágrimas se me vinieron, which honestly isn't much coming from me, porque la verdad yo lloro por todo, la verdad. O sea, me ponen algo con tantito, o sea, emoción y yo lloro, la verdad. O sea, yo lloro. But crying in Spanish and Querido Abuelo, those two were the ones that like broke me emotionally, like broke me so badly. I still like I've been listening to this album ever since it got released, but I cannot listen to those two songs without crying. And I saw a video on TikTok of her singing Crying in Spanish live, and oh, the hurt in her and sadness. Like she was crying at the beginning of the song, like, you know, like it's like if you listen to the song, it's like a little intro and it's like and she was just like crying, like not like crying bawling her eyes out, but she was like wiping her tears and like on stage. And honestly, this was the first song that I actually listened to like off her album because of that video on TikTok. I think somebody, like, she's been singing her songs, you know, but somebody uploaded it and I was hooked on the song since like that video, and the album hadn't been released, but I was already like, this song's gonna break me. Like I know this song's gonna destroy me emotionally, and dicho it did. I genuinely think that she is an example of resilience and turning something so painful into something so beautiful. Because bro, imagínate, o sea, ponte en los zapatos de ella. That's like, they had been dating for years. Like, I don't know exactly how many years, but definitely like years. Y que de repente, o sea, like, if you see interviews también of when they were together, she was like, bro, like, this is my person. Like, I'm so happy. Like, she was in love with this man, and I mean, imagine being so in love with this man y luego que te pide matrimonio y esa emoción de, you know, like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna marry my person, like, this is happening, and, you know, being so in love. And then a couple of days, like, after this, you know, happiness, que salen con que, ay, pero, o sea, tu fiance, like, es infiel y que te enseñan, o sea, cosas así. And I'm pretty sure that it was, like, more than one. Quiero decir que sí era más de uno que salió y dijo, mira, o sea, conmigo también y conmigo hizo esto y esto. O sea, imagínate, like, that is, homie, like, I know people that would not recover for that. Like, I really, and I don't even know if I would fully recover from that, but just listen to this album, I was like, ugh, like, fuck, bro, like, I am with you in this pain, girl. But it feels so great to see her turn that pain into something like so beautiful and something that, I mean, people can relate to. I generally feel like if you're going through a heartbreak, if you're like feeling like down in the dumps, if you're like just low right now, like, listen to this album and you're probably going to be even lower in the dumps. You're probably going to be even more depressed. But I think that's what I love about music, is that it creates this connection with other people, and it creates this connection with an artist to be like, oh my God, like, she took the words that I couldn't say and made it into this incredible song and made it to this incredible album. And that is something that I admire from her, because honestly, like, it's such a heartbreaking thing to happen to you, and she's out there rompiéndole con todo. And fuck him, he really lost a good one. Ni quiero saber nada de él. O sea, él para mí está muerto como fan. O sea, imagínate, yo estoy así de enojada y siendo fan. Y imagínate ella, o sea, imagínate la familia. Dude, that's where I like draw the line, because I'm like, bro, imagine like, like, y ni me quiero imaginar, porque luego me enojo. La verdad sí me enojo. Y luego her last song on the album, which is Querido Abuelo. I think if you know the pain of losing your grandpa or a figure in your life that was a grandfather to you, this song really spoke to you. Like, even thinking about this song makes me emotional. Like, it really does. Like, I'm like low-key like playing this song in my head right now, and I'm like, she encapsulated the grief and pain that you have, especially when she makes reference to el rancho, el sombrero y el olor del campo. I think for a lot of us Latinos, we saw our grandpa in those similar settings with similar characteristics, and to hear it in Spanish, oh, ya me estoy poniendo emocional. I was like, oh, this is the episode. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna cry, because all the episodes before I had cried. But hey, this song, I'm telling y'all, this ay, hasta me da goosebumps. But I think for a lot of us, we saw our grandpas like in el campo or in those settings, and I don't know, like hearing it in Spanish, it just like it makes the connection to it deeper. It feels like one of those songs that like really just speaks for itself. Like I can't describe it. I just can't. So, but if you have lost your grandpa, or again a figure to you that was like a grandfather, if you listen to the song, like, homie, it's gonna destroy you. Like it's destroyed me. I genuinely can't even, les digo that, I genuinely can't even think about the song without tearing up or getting emotional. So I feel like this song is like really one of those where it's just like, fuck, man, like we're really going through it when it comes to losing our grandpas and our grandfathers and those people that in our life that acted like our grandfathers. The music, like the songs itself, were amazing. Like I loved them. But what I really loved también, o sea, I loved everything equally, la verdad. But the marketing and visuals have that flair of being Latina, you know, from placing street vendors in Inglewood with her album cover to the visuals. Like someone said that each of her visuals was a representation of the different corners and neighborhoods, from la lavanderia, someone's backyard, al mercado, back of a truck. Like if you go to YouTube, put in Becky G Esquinitas and see the visuals of the songs, and it genuinely does. I don't know how to explain it, but they look like home videos with the nostalgia to it. Like I don't know how to explain it, but that's what they are. Like they're just like the nostalgia of being in your neighborhood, of being in your, you know, the place where you grew up and the place that you're from. And she just released her music video for the song Segundo Chance, which featured Ivan Conejo. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm so sorry. But even like this music video también, like you can see how much Mexican culture has influenced her. Like, and I really loved that she put in like pictures of the people that influence her, you know, from Jenny Rivera, Vicente Fernandez, and many more. And she put in like little references to the people on the album that she collabed with. And she put in a calendar con Grupo Frontera, which honestly, I 100% thought that there was going to be a collab in this album. Ever since I saw them, I think it was like the Video Music Awards or something. But ever since I saw like there's this little video of like Becky G taking a picture with Grupo Frontera, and I 100% thought like, oh, like they're gonna be collabing, like a song is coming with them soon. And I was a little disappointed when it wasn't, because I love Grupo Frontera, and it would have been so freaking cool to have like that cumbia Tex-Mex mix in with her vocals. Like I think if they do collab, I'm certain they will collab. Like I really do think that we're gonna have a collab soon with them, and I'm so excited for when that happens. But I think that would have been just like the cherry on top for me personally, just because I'm a big fan from both. So it really surprised me that she put in a little reference to them, but there's no like song with them. But I mean, she 100% put in like references of like a lot of people that have influence, you know, la música regional in the past, and who are now influencing it now. Like she definitely has that power of the representation of everybody from new generations and old generations. You know, of course, the face of this new generation is Peso Pluma, which she collabed with, I think it was like months ago now, with this and all with the song Chanel. I genuinely love that she's like somebody that is not afraid to show her culture, is not afraid to be like, hey, I'm Mexican American. I am, I come from two cultures. Like it's something I admire from her so much. And I think there's not a lot of artists who are willing to put their culture out. Like, not in your face, but definitely not rep it as much as she reps it. Like, I'm telling you, if y'all even like go to any single interview that she's done recently, especially, like she like there's not an interview where she doesn't mention that she's so proud to be Mexican American. And I feel like for a lot of people that's hard because you don't feel connected to your Mexican roots, or you don't feel connected enough. And honestly, that's just some bullshit. Like, we come from different places. We come from where we come from. We come from beautiful cultures. And to have that feeling that we don't belong in either, place is heartbreaking, but it's so untrue as well. Because we belong wherever we want to belong, I always think about, this, of course, the quote from Selena, the movie, that the Selena movie based on Selena Quintanilla. I always go back to like that quote that her dad says, dad quotation marks because it's in the movie, but y'all understand me. I always go back when he's like, you have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans. You have to be more Americans than the Americans to prove that you deserve a spot. And I love that there's new generations be like, yo, like that's exhausting. That's so tiresome and so unnecessary. Like I'm just unapologetically myself. Whatever that is to me, I will represent my culture in the way that feels natural to me. I represent my culture in whatever I'm comfortable in. I am enough to hold the title of being, this American, I'm enough to hold the title and to be from where I am. I think especially coming from a daughter of immigrants, it's very hard because we didn't choose for our parents to immigrate over here. Like, I feel like there's a lot of times, especially with like the no sabo kids, they're like, yo, like I don't know Spanish because like my parents had to immigrate here, or they're second generation. They're like, I don't know Spanish because my parents never taught me, and my parents didn't think it was meaningful enough, and this and that. And I relate to that, not with Spanish, but I have my parents who have a native language, Quiche, and they're like, and I sometimes get like dragged on because I don't know Quiche, but I'm like, it's not, I'm like, how can I always say it's my parents' fault, which I'm like, low-key, I'm so sorry that I like low-key shit on them, but they didn't think it was important for me to learn that language. They didn't think it was important for me to be in touch with that part of the culture because I was born here. And they, nobody, when they came into the US, nobody here was, Guatemalan. Nobody here, talked Quiche. Like, it wasn't necessary. And they were also trying to navigate how it is to live here in the United States. Like, if anything, like they wanted to learn English. They wanted me to be proficient in English, and they wanted me to be proficient in Spanish. And those were the two languages that really was for them necessary for me to learn. And so now I'm trying to learn Quiche. I'm trying to get in touch with that part of our culture, and it's so much difficult to learn the language now. But I feel like it's the same discussion for like the quotation marks like no sabo kids, because it's like it's the same thing. Like, their parents didn't think it was necessary enough for them to speak Spanish. Like, they, people have their own reasons, and I feel like people just shit on them because they're just like, oh, like you were too lazy to learn the language, or like the language doesn't mean anything to you. But I think it's like we're a product of what our parents raised us in, and we're a product of our surroundings. Like, I didn't grow up with people that talk Quiche. I didn't grow up with people that wanted me to even learn Quiche. And so now it's kind of getting that hate of, oh, like you're not Guatemalan enough because you don't know your parents' language, or you're not Guatemalan enough because you don't wear, the clothes that people usually wear. And I feel like that's the same conversation with Mexican Americans, of them not speaking the language or being, Mexican enough to hold the title of Mexican American. And I think in some way, in all cultures, we feel that in some way we're all kind of don't feel enough to be from where our parents are from, because we didn't grow up there, and because there's missing things from their culture in us. But I think this new generation of celebrities and musicians and people out there in the media, I think they're doing a great job of being like, hey, like we all feel the same way, and if we all feel the same way, then let's all be accepting. Like I definitely feel like it's more older generations are less, they're kind of like gatekeeping the culture, gatekeeping what they want us to be. And I just think that we have to kind of fight that and be like, yo, I am whatever I am. I am proud to be from wherever we are. We're proud of our roots, but you might not consider or see me being proud in the way that you want me to show. And that's okay. As long as you're just not hiding who you are, as long as you're just being yourself and not shitting on your culture. I feel like you have to appreciate from where you're from. You have to appreciate your roots, and you have to be respectful of it. And in whatever that is for you, go ahead and do it. Don't let people be like, oh, like you're not enough to be a part of this culture. You're not enough for this. Homie, you are enough. Boxes are made for no fucking reason. And you're enough. Be proud to be from who... Oh, así no era. Be proud to be from wherever you're from. Be proud to be Latino. Be proud to be, wherever your roots are from. Be proud. I definitely recommend you educate yourself in the culture and just learn. Pero si no quieres también, o sea, you don't have to, like, just as long as you appreciate it, as long as you respect it. Fuck what everybody else thinks. Fuck whatever, is put upon you and the pressure. Like, just be yourself. Try to find who you are within your own identity and within your own terms. Uy, como que we went on a little tangent, and that wasn't supposed to be the tangent. But I think that's a good kind of idea what I want the podcast to be. So thank you guys for listening to this first podcast. Now that we're back, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. Si quieren más chisme, from my life, what media y'all want me to talk about. Si quieren más, like advice oriented, or no sé, ustedes déjame saber qué quieren de mí. I hope to eventually have this in video format, but for now, to make things easier for me, I do think that I'll just be doing audio. I still have school, I still have work, and just other things that take my time, and I want to make this easy for me and stay consistent for y'all. And the way to do that is just to keep it in audio version, because video is a lot. Like, I'm telling you, I kept telling myself, like, oh, I'm only gonna do this podcast if I have it in video format. I'm only gonna do this podcast. And that was one of the things that was holding me back, because I feel like video is a lot, and especially like video editing, like la verdad sí toma tonto, and audio is so much easier to kind of edit and publish. So, but eventually I do want to do a video format. Eventually I want to include video pa que me miren. Les digo, o sea, no puedo hablar hoy, but I want this to be video format at some point. Hopefully y'all listen to this enough that I keep it going and I keep motivated to do it. I just want to say again, thank you for listening. And it would be I promise y'all, on the next episode I will learn how to talk. I will learn how to pronounce the words correctly and to speak. But it means so much to me if y'all share this podcast con quien quieren, con amigos, familia, conocidos, compañeros, o sea, con todos, o sea, con todos that y'all think would enjoy this podcast or that will, just like need to listen to something, or if y'all want to just hear Latina talk about shit. I mean, no sé. Ustedes comparten. I appreciate the support. I love y'all. I'm like, if you listened to this episode the whole way, I love you. Te quiero. And I hope que todos estén aprovechando la vida and putting love out into this world, because we all need a little more love. So los quiero y hasta la próxima. And don't forget, oh my god, como les digo, no puedo hablar. Don't forget to follow us on social media at viviendo_powerful. Thank you guys so much. Los quiero. Bye.